Mulibwanji, Muliburunji, Mambo VP, Kef. This is the Purpose Global, and it is your man, Mr. Chushi Peter Kasongo, and I'm bringing to you another life-changing piece. Alright, so without wasting much of your time, let's dive in. Alright, so we all know about the story of David and Goliath. I believe you've read, I believe you've heard about that story. So I'm not gonna narrate the whole story right here. Just check it out at your own time. I've dropped the text right in these videos. Alright, so when you look at the story of David, alright, those people were scared when that Goliath came in. This Goliath was a big giant, and those people were afraid. But the young boy stepped in and said, I'm gonna kill this Goliath. I'm gonna kill this Goliath, alright? So when they asked him, are you sure you're gonna kill the Goliath? He said, yes, I'm gonna kill this Goliath. So they took the armor and they took the sword. They put the armor on David and they gave the sword to David, alright? But those things were too heavy for David. He said, I'm not gonna use these same things, alright? I'm gonna use my sling. I'm gonna use my new technology, alright? So in order for David to succeed, in order for David to win that battle, it was very important for him to let go of that tradition. It was very important for him to use his own new strategy. Alright, so tradition sometimes can be a barrier to your new success. Tradition sometimes can be a barrier to your next level. It is very, very important for you to let go of a tradition. I believe just there were some people who were looking at David and said, how come he's going to fight that man with a sling? Alright, how come that man, there's never been anyone who has ever won a battle by putting on without an armor, without a sword and a helmet? This has never happened before. Alright, I believe there were people who are speaking there and saying, no way, you're not going to win this battle, David. There is no way you're going to win this battle. That's the reason why they were putting the armor on him. They were trying to use their experience, the peer pressure that they got from them. I believe that they also inherited the same culture. Alright, they also inherited the same culture. One man said tradition sometimes is peer pressure from the grave. So they also inherited that form, that way of fighting battles. But David said, no way. I'm not going to fight this man with your old tradition. I'm going to use my own equipment. I'm going to use my own tech. Alright, so I believe that in that army, there were people who were equipped. There were people who had high ranks if it were in these days. There were people who had degrees and PhDs in security if it were in these days. But they were all scared to face Goliath. Alright, but here comes in a young boy full of confidence with a different attitude. Alright, I don't know, you might wonder what was driving this boy. This boy was full of passion. Now, when we look at passion is a mixture of two things. It's a mixture of the good side and something that hurts. Let's take, for instance, if you see children in the streets who are suffering, who don't have clothes, you feel hurt inside of you and you decide to buy clothes. You decide to initiate change. So you're just that person who never wants to see children suffering. So that's the hurt side. And when you initiate good change, and that's the good side of you. So just like David, he was full of passion. He heard this man insulting his God and said, there is no way. He never liked to hear anything like that. He was so protective. He was a leader, all right? And he stood out and said, I'm going to kill this man. So for you to achieve greater heights, you need to be moved. You need to be full of passion. You need to possess a different attitude, all right? This has happened in organizations. This has happened in companies. This has happened in lives where people say, we always do things this way. Experience is the best teacher. Most of the times, all right? They always say this, but it's not all the time. Experience is not the best teacher all the time, all right? If experience was the best teacher, then David would have used those armors and those swords to fight those battles. But he had to come up with a new invasion. He had to come up with a new tech. Just imagine if he used that armor and used that sword. What would have happened? Probably he was going to lose the battle. Probably everyone was going to be killed that day. But the reason why they succeeded was because he had to let go of the traditions. He had to let go of the old ways of doing things. And he had to come up and said, this is the way I want to kill Goliath. And he looked at Goliath and he said, this man is too big for me not to miss. He used his new weapon, poof, and Goliath was down. Goliath was killed. Alright, now let's just look at that. Alright, so it was very, very important for these people to give an opportunity to David. This might happen in workplaces, this might happen in organizations, this might happen in companies, this might happen even in leadership positions, government positions, all right? Let's give an opportunity to young people. Just imagine if these people never gave an opportunity to David, what would have happened? What would have happened? All of them were going to be killed. All right, so probably it is that young person who has got the key to unlocking those potentials in your country. Probably it is that young person who has got the key to unlocking that potential in your church. Probably it is that young person who has got the key to unlocking that potential in your company. That young boy, that young David is the one holding that sling, ready to kill those big giants that you are facing today. All right, so let's give an opportunity to young people, and this also goes to the young people. Young people, do not look down on yourself that you are young. You have the potential. You have the capability to change and to move the world. You have the capability to change things. All right, don't look down on you. If you don't step out today, a lot of things will not unlock out there. You are holding destinies. You are holding the keys to countries. You are holding the keys to countries' prosperity. You are holding the keys to those organizations' prosperity. You are holding the keys to those companies' prosperity. You are holding the keys to that church prosperity. You're holding the keys to so many things. So young people, I'm talking to those young people like David, let us rise up, because we have the potential and God wants to use us for great and greater things. All right, so this happens in companies. I said, this is just a young boy, there's nothing he can do. In this company we always do things in this way. In Africa we are poor, we can never achieve this. They are all tradition, influence from the graves. It has never happened this way. It can never happen this way. Yeah, I believe even that day, even those people who were standing there, they were just watching, and David said, there's never been a day where they fought battle without a sword. All right, usually when change wants to come in, when young people are coming in, is change. All right, tradition usually fights change. The reason why you are still on the same level today is because you still want to do the things the same way. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Probably you are still doing the same. You're still following the tradition. You're still saying in Africa we are poor, we'll never succeed. You will remain poor. All right, you won't succeed if you are always saying Africa we are poor. Probably you're saying no, there is no way, things are always happening. You will always remain where you are at that level because you are following the old tradition. You need to be ready to stand out like David. You need to be ready to step out like David. So let us overcome tradition, because tradition can be a hindrance to your next success. All right, the other lesson that we learn from there is that let us also give an opportunity to young people. Just imagine if these people never gave an opportunity to David, what would have happened? All of them were going to be wiped out. So this not look down on young people. We usually look down on young people and say, these people, what would they tell us? As we have the experiences, as we've been using this armor, we've been using this sword, those same armors, those same sword, when Goliath comes, let's see who's going to fight. Let's see who is going to fight. But this young person came in with some new technique. You need fresh minds. You need fresh ideas. You need fresh tech for the young people. Let's begin to use, let's begin to embrace, let's begin to encourage these young people, because these young people, they are holding on keys to a lot of things. Be an agent of change. Be somebody who wants to initiate change wherever you are. Okay, that's how you should be as a young person, because you are holding on keys to a lot of things. You might be the next person who might solve a problem in that company, who might solve that problem in that church, who might solve that problem in that country. You are holding on to the keys. Therefore, if you are sitting down, all right, if you are sitting down and doing nothing, there's nothing that is going to change. We the young people, we are the drivers. We the young people, we should cause the change. We have the potential, just like David. If David never stepped out, Goliath would have wiped out everyone right there. There are a lot of problems that are happening today, and you are the solution. You as a young person, you are the one holding on to the success of the country. You're the one holding on to the success of the companies. You're the one holding on to the success of the churches. You are the one holding on to the success, okay, of your family. Therefore, you as a young person, you need to step out. You need to possess a different attitude. Be full of passion, and let's be agents of change. Thirdly, David possessed a different attitude, a different spirit. I'm not going to talk about that today because I don't want to keep you here. I'm going to talk about that in the next video. I hope you find this video helpful. Thank you so much, and God bless you.